What is good, everybody? It is Spill here, and welcome back to the NBA 2K Lab channel. In this video, we'll be going over our shooting badge tier list in NBA 2K24. With shooting undergoing many changes since the release of the game, even some of the major badges may be far less valuable than they used to be. So we're going to go over each shooting badge and assign it a tier based on the badge's effectiveness. This is going to be a general list since shooting is pretty standardized this year, but we'll be talking about certain badges that fit different playstyles as well. And if you're looking for the best jump shots to pair with the best badges, premium members have complete access to a growing list of jump shot bases and releases for all builds with data on green window sizes, jump shot speeds, and even early, average, and late make percentages. We also have base and release ratings voted on by our community to let you know which ones people are liking the most. There's even more to NBA 2K Lab Premium, and it's typically $7.99 a month, but by using code W, you can get 50% off your premium membership for a limited time. But let's get right into this video. If you've watched our tier list videos, we generally start at the bottom in the C tier and then work our way up to the best badges in the S tier. So starting out, we have the free points badge in the C tier, and this is a badge that is actually pretty useful with free throws being seemingly harder this year, but they're still very much makeable with a 60 to 70 rating. This is a badge I like to have on bronze at least, but I wouldn't be upset if I couldn't get it at all. Free throws are typically scarce and the attribute itself costs a little more than last year, but if you're more of a slasher and you get to the line more than normal, you can bump this badge up a tier. Next, we have Comeback Kid in the C tier, and this is a badge that worked last year when you were down by 7 or more points to increase your shot percentage, and since this is a very situational badge, we have to put it at the bottom because you typically just won't get too much use out of it. Unless you're playing from behind a lot in solo rec, I don't see this being a badge worth prioritizing. A staple in the C tier is the slippery off-ball badge, and while it may have some situational use cases, it just doesn't provide enough impact to justify a higher tier. Moving into the B tier of more useful badges, we have Claymore, and I thought this badge would be more useful in 2K24 with shooting being harder, but after seeing the results from our test, it's really not as valuable as much as we thought, even for people who mainly sit corner. Now, it's still useful, however, and getting this badge on at least silver should be enough, but it's not exactly a game changer, which is why we have it in the B tier. Another badge in the B tier is Corner Specialist, and while this badge is actually really effective at the gold level, chances are you won't have a high enough rating for it. It takes an 85 3-point rating for gold, which isn't ideal if you're sitting corner, and then this is also another badge where silver provides enough value, especially only needing a 76 3-point rating, which is a great 3-point threshold. Now, if you're a higher 3-point shooter, you obviously automatically get this, so that's why this is going to be a general list. Next up is Open Looks, and we have this badge in the B tier as well due to the wide open shooting buff, where Mike Wang had said that wide open shots have received a buff, thus making the Open Looks badge less valuable. This was a badge I targeted before the patch when shooting was much harder, but ever since I haven't felt that I needed it as much. With that being said, you should try to get this badge on at least bronze or silver, but generally you don't need to go much higher unless you're targeting better badges. The next badge we have is Spot Finder, and this is a nice badge, but I haven't seen many people use it effectively. I can see this badge requiring teamwork to be effective in order to create space for the off-ball player. If you've ever tapped turbo while being off-ball, you can really feel the speed boost, and this badge also gives a shot boost after the catch as well. The idea of the Spot Finder badge is A tier, but I feel the badge itself is still in the B tier unless you have good communication with your team. Otherwise, the spacing might be too cluttered and it's just not going to work as well as you might think. The next badge we have is a little surprising to see this low in the tier list, but we have Limitless Range in the B tier this year in 2K24. What was once the best go-to shooting badge has been reduced to one of the least attractive options this year. Shooting from Limitless this year has been abysmal, and apparently it was meant to be that way, with Mike Wang saying that, quote, "Limitless is stupid, 30-foot bombs shouldn't be a regular thing." Now, they are still makeable, and having Limitless Range on at least silver will do the trick, but they're far too inconsistent, and it seems it was intended to be that way, which is why we have it in the B tier. Next up, we have the Guard Up badge, and this was a badge last year that didn't seem to activate much, and because of that, we had it in the C tier for 2K23, but this year it definitely activates a bit more and seems to be pretty useful, so we bumped it up to the B tier for 2K24. Moving into the A tier, we have the Agent 3 badge, and normally this is an S tier badge, and for some it still can be considered that, but with the nerfs to fading threes as per Mike Wang in the beginning of the year, it's not as effective as it once was. It's still a great badge and it's basically required for any player who likes taking aggressive 3-point shots off the dribble, but bronze is great to have and silver isn't quite worth it, but if you can get this badge to gold or higher, you'll definitely start to notice the boost. Then we have Catch and Shoot in the A tier as one of the best badges to have on any spot up build, and has actually shown to be very effective in years past. This has always been a staple badge in 2K, and it's always going to be useful, which is why we have it in the A tier. Space Creator is another A tier badge, but this one is definitely more more playstyle dependent. I personally don't take many of these shots, but if you do, you should absolutely target this badge on at least the gold level and get it to Hall of Fame if this is your main playstyle. Hall of Fame shows an insane boost, which is almost enough to warrant S tier placement, but since bronze and silver don't offer much, I'm gonna leave it in the A tier. For our next badge, we have post fade phenom in the A tier, and if you couple this with some post control, strength, and mid range, it becomes nearly unstoppable. With 2K24 trying to push more diverse ways to score, the post game and mid range game have gotten some serious buffs, which is why I have this badge in the A tier. This next badge has been a staple for some years now, and we have Green Machine in the A tier. We haven't yet tested this badge, but with green or mist being a thing more than ever this year, this badge has a case to be in the S tier as well. But what's holding me back is not knowing just how effective this badge is, especially with green windows being much smaller in 2K24. Until we test it though, I'm going to leave this badge in the A tier. Now, as you can see, we have 3 really good badges left, all of which are going into the S tier for obvious reasons. And then first we have Blinders. As it's no mystery, this is one of the best badges to help with contests in your peripherals. If you're an aggressive shooter, you'll want this badge on at least the gold level to shoot within those tight windows. Next, we have Mini Magician. With everything I've been saying in this video about how mid-range shots got a buff, it should come as no surprise why this badge is in the S tier. Equip Kobe Dribble Pull-Up and go bananas. It's really never been easier. And then lastly, we have the classic Deadeye badge, and with Deadeye and Blinders requiring near max shooting to unlock, these are 2 of the most deadly shooting badges in the game. Contested shots seem to be going in at a higher rate this year, and these badges are only going to help that. And then there you have it, our shooting badge tier list for NBA 2K24. Let me know in the comments below which badges you think are ranked too high or too low, or just let us know which badges you'd like to be tested next. And don't forget, you can get 50% off your NBA2KLab.com membership for only a limited time by using code W at checkout. Thank you guys for watching. It's been Spill, and I'm out. Later.